G'day guys, Shawnee from Life and Tennis. Today's video is going to be quite a short one. I'm just going to be providing a little update on my injury and when I'm getting back to club competition. The state grade segment that I've been doing for Tennis Victoria and the first serve, and the player Stefan Storch who I interviewed, which I'll put a link in the description below. And yeah, just looking ahead at the next video I'll be doing next week. So yeah, just firstly quickly the injury update. So yeah, for those who aren't aware, I did an IT band injury to my left knee a few weeks ago. And yeah, I've been on the mend slowly but surely recovering. I've now gotten back to running again. So I'm trying to run basically 2 or 3 times a week because I actually was training for a half marathon. And that's basically how I did it. I was increasing the mileage and the Ks into my legs. And unfortunately, did the injury after doing a 9K run a few weeks ago. Actually, interestingly enough, the physio, when he was, looking at me, assessing me, he actually found it's all to do with my biomechanics, particularly on my left side, because he said the way that I stand, I tend to put my weight on the outside edge of my foot and my leg, rather than sort of more central. So he looked at my right side, he said the right side looks even, looks good on that side, but on the left side I have this tendency to sort of lean on my toes on the outside edge a little bit more. So a bit of a strange one. So yeah, he's basically got me to do these strengthening exercises, particularly for my glutes and whatever this inside muscle is called on the inner leg here, because I'm putting a lot of weight on the outside, which is putting strain on my knee and my IT band as I'm running. And also particularly I think because I've got quite big thighs, quite big legs. So the more that I run, the more kilometers that I'm running, especially given the fact that I'm training for basically a 21 kilometer, half marathon. It's just that wear and tear and just the weight that I'm putting on the outside that is causing the issue, causing the damage. So yeah, but everything's feeling good. I'm slowly getting there. I went for an 8K run today. I'm trying to gradually increase the Ks leading into the half marathon because the half marathon's in just under 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks roughly, July 13. So yeah, fingers crossed that we can finish that. I mean, my goal is still to finish the race, but I'm probably going to just try to run at least half of it and just see if I can hobble or jog the rest of the way there. But I'm still optimistic that I can complete the half marathon. So yeah, but back to competing this weekend for my team for grade 4 pennants. Doubles only this week at this stage, so just wanted to ease my way back into competition, not play any singles. But I feel like from next week onwards, I should be able to play singles and doubles or both. So yeah, slowly on the mend, but feeling really, really good. So that's great. As for the latest state grade segment this week for Victorian Pennant for Tennis Victoria that I do on the First Serve radio show, I interviewed a very interesting young player called Stefan Storch. I'll put a link in the description below, but basically he's 23 years old. He plays for a team called Peninsula Fire, which is based in Frankston, the Frankston Tennis Club in Victoria. The interview is very brief because the segment itself is only about 5 minutes long, but I had a little bit of a chat with him, before and after the interview itself, and he was just telling me a little bit about, playing some futures tournaments in Asia and just the challenges of, competing at that level and still trying to make it, as a aspiring young tennis player, as a budding professional, essentially. So yeah, very interesting chat I had with him, and yeah, definitely a guy that I would love to do a follow-up interview with, which I've reached out to him. But yeah, very interesting conversation that was. Lastly, just on the next videos to come. So I will do a video next week about my return to competition this weekend, depending on how I go. And also I have written an article about Novak Djokovic and Wimbledon being I think his last real chance at, winning a record-breaking 25th Grand Slam title. There are so many, records that he could break with this particular Wimbledon, not just the fact that he will win his 25th Grand Slam title, which will be the most of any tennis player, male or female. He'll also equal Roger Federer's record of 8 Wimbledon titles, and pretty much you could say he is, the greatest grass court player we've ever seen. At the moment, we probably would say that's Roger just purely based on the fact that he's won one more Wimbledon title than Novak. But you know, you can't deny Novak's place as one of the greatest grass court tennis players of all time. I mean, he did beat Roger 3 times in finals, 2014, 2015, and of course that famous 2019 final. So he's already proven it really that he's, you know, kind of equal to Roger in that sense. But I think if he did win this year, that would cement it. There would be no argument. And I think it would actually indisputably crown him as the greatest tennis player, male or female, of all time. There would be no argument. There would be nothing left for him to prove, essentially. And to my mind, there's no better way to go out in tennis than, you know, for him to win Wimbledon. So this is probably the only time actually that I would say I would actually be rooting for him, because, you know, I've mentioned on the channel before that I've, you know, a long time Federer fan. And, you know, when Nadal came along, I was very skeptical about him. And then, of course, when Novak came along, I was skeptical about him too. So maybe haven't always been a Novak fan or have wanted Novak to win, you know, Grand Slam titles and to break all these records. But I've come to admire him a lot more now. It's very hard not to admire his achievements. And, you know, he's always been very open and candid about his desires in tennis. So, yeah, but I'll delve a bit more deeply into that piece next week. But anyway, guys, that's it from me. As always, please like and subscribe for more life and tennis related content. Cheers, guys.